again for catching the hashtag replay. I'm not going to be before you long, I hope. Matter of fact, let me use this one. Because, yes, y'all, as you can see, One Piece last episode, I would have gotten this out sooner, but I had to go help my sister. I had to watch her dog. I told her never again. I will never do such a thing. She will never have to worry about me watching that dog ever again. I will not. So yes, y'all, this is the last episode of the live piece. I'll still be reporting what is it, news on anime, because I enjoy doing that. But without further delay, y'all, I'm gonna jump right into it. First off, we're going to have Luffy, y'all. Luffy delivers one of the most symbolic victories here. When Wapol shoots at Hiriluk's Jolly Roger, Luffy blocks the attack without hesitation. This isn't a protection of the flag. It's a protection. It's protecting Hiriluk's dream and Chopper's heart. Then Luffy defeats Wapol by launching him out of the castle, ending his rule. This moment shows that Luffy doesn't fight just to win. He fights to protect the people's dreams, y'all. Yeah, we gotta know, y'all. Luffy is a dreamer, you guys. Of course, the episode was actually funny because he's fighting Warhol, and he's not taking it seriously. He's laughing, he's joking, and Warpol's like, "Why aren't you taking it seriously?" And he's like, "For what?" He knows he's going to win. He knows without a shadow of a doubt he's going to win. And once again, I will say, Oda's going to hell for making a fat person eat the Munch Munch Fruit. This has to be said because it's funny. Next, y'all, we have 2020 Chopper. This is the moment of Chopper's life changes forever. He helps defeat Warpol's forces alongside Sanji. He finally accepts that he has a place in this world. When the Straws invite him to join, Chopper initially hesitates, but ultimately chooses to leave with them. Because Luffy was like, "Y'all, stop with the whole low self-esteem. You've been alive for way too long to have that low self-esteem." So I did think that was funny. I also did enjoy the fact that him and Sanji were like beating up them, but they were also getting beat up. I did find it funny that the guy's afro hair was staticky. See, I knew he had superpowers. Right on. His afro hair was staticky and causing people to stick to places. I did like that. I did like that they defeated them. And I did like he had to tell Sanji when he got into his Huber form, like, "Don't talk." I was like, "Oh, okay. I know that's right." But how does all this stuff matter? Because Chopper moves from isolation to belonging, and he carries Hiriluk's dreams into the sea. At the end of the episode, you can see him crying because his dad, Dr. Hiriluk, his dad, is, his dream of bringing cherry blossoms to this cold, frozen wasteland finally happened. So it was like a closing moment that Dr. Kureha made sure that he could do. And then we have Sanji. Sanji plays a key role by defeating Warpol's lieutenant alongside Chopper. This moment reinforces his reliability in battle, his ability to protect weaker allies, especially Chopper in this case. Sanji quietly proves again that he's one of the most dependable fighting members, y'all. So what happens was he does have a scene where he talks about his life and how his mom was sick and how he wasn't always a good cook and how it went from cooking bad meals to cooking good meals until his mom passed away. And then, eventually he fights with Chopper. He does a lot of kicking. I know that's his thing. He kicks a whole bunch. All this kicking, like a female superhero trope. Just had to get that out there because that's so funny. But I always like that trope about Sanji. I like the fact that they did make him a creep, because that would not have translated well in live action. They would have not have gotten away with that in live action. And they wouldn't. That's why he's not. Next, y'all, we have Princess Vivi. She continues to step in a leadership role. She rushes to warn others about Wapol's return. She fights alongside Luffy. More importantly, this is where the Straw Hats are fully committed to helping her save Alabasta. This shifts from helping a friend to taking on a national crisis. She does help Luffy defeat Warpol with her pinky stuff. That's what I call her pinky weapons. And they were able to defeat him. The episode actually ends with her because they thought that she was just going to get dropped off and they was just going to keep heading. I said, no, we'll help you beat Baroque Works. But the episode actually ends with her talking about we went undercover and we found out who number zero actually is. And they plan on going back to the dad, the king, to tell the name, which mind you, y'all, these are some Egyptian names, but going back to tell the name that you know who the actual Mr. Zero is. Because apparently everybody know who he is, but don't know that's Mr. Zero. So he's like hiding out. Which I wouldn't mind having a life like that too, y'all. Where you know everybody like you like hey Montana, you got a double life, got a double life. Now we got Zoro and Usopp. Zoro and Usopp lead the defense of the drum citizens. Zoro provides strength and leadership in the battles. Usopp continually growing into a brave warrior by standing and fighting forever. This mirrors the giant's influence on Usopp. He begins to live out their deal, y'all. So they was getting their butts beat in that scene, y'all. That scene, they was fighting, but they did not give up. It wasn't until Luffy and Sanji and all of them defeated Warpol that, you know, they were able to defeat them because Warpol's mechanical warriors that he made was able to be subsided. If it was up to me, I'd have sliced all, you know, their heads off, but that's just me. Zoro was being nice. And at the end, he did pick up Chopper and hold him. So I do like that. We're seeing a softer side of Zoro. Now we have Dalton. Dalton steps into true leadership. He defends the people, helps organize against Warpol. Dalton represents the new future of the drum leader, one built on compassion instead of fear. Dalton will become the king. I do, once again, just like all of that, Dalton is a aware animal. Aware animal. And I'm like, aware animal. I can't decide what that beast is, so we're gonna call it aware beast. I like were beast better. He's a were beast, just like the rest of the folk, but he still keeps his were beastness. So, Dr. Kureha, his actually, y'all, this box about him is because she sends Chopper off with artificial cherry blossoms, although she was jealous, mad, and hateful that he was leaving and said, you can't do it, blah, blah, blah. I feel like she's one of those parents that like will talk down to her kids thinking that she's going to, that's protecting them, but it's not. It's just bad parenting. This fulfills Hiriluk's dream of bringing spring to drum because it's a cold wasteland that nobody should be living. I'd have went with the straw hat. Y'all drop me off at the nearest sunny climate island that you can find. I want to be on a beach. I want it to be tropical. I'm tired of being cold every 4 to 5 business seconds. That's not holy. That's not godly. That's not scriptural. And she also makes a huge comment. Luffy reminds her of Gol D. Roger. She does know who Gol D. Roger is. Roger was probably one of her closest friends that she helped, and introduces the idea of the will of D, because Luffy is a D. Roger's a D, Dad's a D, Granddad's a D, everybody's a D. This is one of the earliest major hints of the deeper mystery of this world and the will of D. Now we got Warpol. Warpol represents everything wrong with leadership. He uses Munch Munch Fruit to create weapon-human hybrids. So I just assume he ate everything and then just plopped it back out, which is nasty. Taxes on people, tries to store Hiriluk's symbols. His defeat is not just physical, but ideological. Greed loses, hope wins. Here's the thing. Once again, I'm going to say this. Now, y'all ain't going to do a speech on the Munch Munch Fruit, but here we are. Why would you give a fat person the ability to eat more? I mean, like, why would you literally give a person who's morbidly obese the ability to eat anything? Not even just more, but anything at once. Oh, no, you know you wrong for that. That wasn't really body positive. I mean, well, maybe actually it is body positive. That is some body positivity. Being able to eat anything with no regrets. But I digress. And now, y'all, we have the cherry blossom farewell. Snow turns to pink. Of course, winter becomes spring. The Dragon Kingdom is the Drum Kingdom is emotionally healed. Hiriluk's dream comes true after his death. This is a One Piece at its core, y'all, where dreams outlive the people. Next, we got Miss All Sunday and Mr. L. Sir Crocodile is revealed as the leader of the Baroque Roots, the warlord of the sea, and a major villain planning to take over Alabasta. I why have Alabasta? There's other kingdoms. Maybe he just don't like the person running it. Who knows? His goal connects everything to power, control, and getting closer because he wants the One Piece. And then Miss All Sunday is his partner, but she has her own hidden agenda. She doesn't help him fully, but she's playing a deeper game. And even when he said ours, he's like, "Don't you mean yours?" And she's like, "You got a piece and all this too, y'all." But that was the end of it, y'all. I enjoyed this. I can't wait for season 3. It's in production right now. Hopefully, we get it by the end of the year. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, come back. Your favorite Uncle loves you always. There's nothing you can do about that. Bye. Ah, ah.